Good morning. Welcome back to this Old Dusty Workshop again. I had a special request from some moms out there who says, my young one doesn't know how to tie, my boy or girl doesn't know how to tie their shoes. They have Velcro shoes. And I'm going, yes, that's probably true. Most shoes for kids comes with Velcro on, but learning to tie your shoes is an important life skill, and we're going to practice that today. But it's not as hard as you would think. It's actually fairly simple, and it's built on a knot that we've already learned, and we're going to learn how to do that. So I'll get a piece of cord here, and remember we did an overhand knot in the last one, and in the very first video, I think it was the very first one, maybe the second one, we learned to tie a square knot. And a square knot has the tails on both sides, just like your shoes. So if you think your shoe's down here, and you have this up here, this is the basic knot that's used to tie your shoes. Now, if you tie it like this, you have the shoestrings dropping down here and you're tripping over them. That makes a mess and it's not going to stay tied. So we're going to do something else with that. So I have to get a shoe that we can use, and I'm going to use mine. Some of you could use this for a canoe instead of a shoe, but it'll work for today's purposes. So we have two ends, and they're roughly the same length. Yep, and they're really long. And in the last video, we learned how to shorten them. We could put a couple stopper knots on the end, maybe a triple overhand knot on this one. And I'm going to do it on this one. And you kind of let it wrap around. And so, yeah, like that on that side. And then we'll do the same thing on this side so that we get, so it looks the same. It's called symmetry, but that's a big fancy word for it. Looks the same. Symmetry, new word. Okay, so I've got the two stopper knots on each end. Now notice that your people who make your tennis shoes put these little plastic things on here. Pretty cool things, but it's just like whipping and fusing, except they're using plastic to do it. It's like a tape. It's a tube that does it. So it's pretty cool. But so you do them up like this, so you got them. So now we're going to go around and we're going to tie an overhand knot and snug it down. Oh, we all got that. That's pretty simple, right? But we want to make sure that we put in the right type of overhand. That's not the right type. I always have this problem. Okay, there we go. I have to tie my knots. So I put a square knot in, just like this. Just like this. So it's going to look like this, if you remember what a square knot looks like. Okay? Now, you want to run that down so it's snug, remember. And so you're going to pull it down, but you don't want to pull it up tight. Because what we don't want to do, we want to take these ends and we want to push them back through. So by pushing the ends back through here, we're going to create loops. So we're going to open up the knot. And so you get a pretzel on the outside, okay? And then you just take this end and you stick it right there, not all the way through. You hold it so it stays out. And you do the same thing for the other side. Then you pull it up tight. You snug it up now. And when you snug this up, you have tied your shoes. Now there are a couple other ways to do this, and we're going to look at another way. Okay, now you tie your overhand knot just like we normally would. Set this up here on my belly so you can see it better. So we're going to tie an overhand knot and we're going to snug it down just like you normally would. So if you don't have your shoe already, you've got one like this, you might want to go get it, okay? So I create a bow on the end of it, and I treat this as one piece, not as two pieces. Some people call them bunny ears or something along those lines. But they're just the same as having one line. And so then I'm going to tie the square knot again. Just wrap it around and tie it one more time, and it works the same way, and you just keep practicing it. So you pull it up on one end and on the other, and then you wrap them around and make another overhand knot. with the bunny ears. You have to practice making that overhand knot with and without the double. So what we've done, this is called loops in knot tying. And what we've done is we've put a double loop inside of a square knot. That's all we've done. And you can pull it snug, and there you go. Your shoe is tied, and when you pull on it, the reason you put loops in this is so that the loops, you can pull on them and they pull right out, and then you can get your shoes off. Cool way to do this. So learning to tie your shoes is an important skill, and it just takes practice. Practice with me. Play the video, stop the video, play it, go up to the point, try it again. For those of you who don't have shoes that have laces in them, try it with an overhand knot and put a loop on each side like this. So then it really does look like a bunny if you kind of think about it, because you can see the head of the bunny and the ears on the bunny. And then you just tie it around an overhand knot with the ears. You're tying the bunny's ears. Not trying to hurt the bunny. This is not a real bunny. And you pull it down. So you have a square knot with two loops in them, and you can pull on either one and the knot comes apart. That's what you want to have happen. So practice that so you can go make the loop, make the head of the bunny, make it around. Kind of looks like a Martian or an ant right there. Now you're going to put his ears on him, just like you would. You're going to put the ear on the other side, just like this. Okay? And make sure your end comes down really far on both sides. If you don't, what happens is they tend to pull out when you pull them through the knot. So then you make an overhand knot with the ears. Okay? And I just had that happen. Yep. We kind of hold it, and then we pull them down. We pull it up. And see, if you don't hold it long and tight enough, this comes back, so you have to stick it back through. Just follow it back, stick them back, pull them a little tighter, make the ears a little shorter, and then just pull up the knot tight. And that is how you tie your shoes. You just pull it and it comes right loose. It's a great way to do it. Good skill to learn for life. And I hope you've enjoyed this. Come back and visit me again. I have such a good time when you come to visit me and talk with me. And, you know, it's kind of hard that we're out of school. We're missing our friends. I know I am. I'm missing my students. You're probably missing your teachers. Some of us get to see some of our friends on video and on our phones, and we get to do that and come and visit with them. But, you know, they'll be there when you get back, and you'll have a chance to visit with them later once all of this is over. So be safe, be smart, practice your knots. I hope you have a really good day, and enjoy scouting. Bye-bye.